Okay, this is Ray again. I think this is my third video. I've had 4 shots of tea, so effectively about a month now. Um, and I didn't talk a huge amount in my previous videos. Sorry, cat. Um, I mostly just was singing. I am trying to track my voice changes and obviously any physical changes that I can see on video. I don't look at myself a whole lot. I've never had a whole lot of self-identification in the mirror, which probably has to do with being trans. Um, so that's part of why I'm making the videos. Another part is when I realized I was trans and I started looking at resources out there and other people's blogs and everything, it seemed like there were a whole lot of people who were really young, and more power to them, and I'm so glad that they figured shit out that early. I did not, and it seems to be really hard to find people who are in the 30 and above set talking about being trans and transitioning at that age. Obviously, the changes, taking tea when you're in your late 30s, which I just turned 38 a little over a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Those changes you're going to experience are not the same as somebody who is still going through their first puberty and begins to take tea. So it just seemed to me to be hard to find resources for older trans people. Maybe that's partly because people who are older and trans don't talk about it as much. The way you have to transition in your life socially is very different at that age versus transitioning when you're still in school. Transitioning solely in the workplace and when you're an adult who's been an adult for a while, those relationships and those social ties are very different versus when you're a teenager. So there's a lot of differences. It seems to be hard to find resources. Um, so I'm winging it. I know most of us are winging it, but if what I have to say helps anybody else out there, that's awesome. Um, how I initially figured out that I was trans actually was partly thanks to Steam Powered Giraffe and Bunny Bennett. I had heard of transgender people before. I even, had some vague acquaintances online who are trans, and I thought, oh yeah, that's cool, but I didn't really know how it worked. I thought maybe they just, okay, if you've got the right body type, maybe you can dress and pass, and that's cool. I didn't really hear much about hormone therapy, and that this was something that was really a feasible, doable thing that I could do. And when I realized that was the case, that's when it all clicked that this was what I wanted. Instead of just going through my entire adult life, my entire life thus far, thinking, yeah, well, I'm a girl, but I'm really crappy at it. Never been good at being a girl. Never been good at girly things. Never been good at the social cues, the psychological aspects. There were a lot of things that when I get in groups of women and they talk, and I'm just lost, and always have been. So that's a little bit of the personal stuff. Um, but yeah, so I'm documenting the changes that I have as somebody who's now 38, on T injections. I couldn't say if I'm going any faster or slower than anybody else. The last video I made was really just a week ago, so there haven't been a whole lot of changes since then. Same thing where I feel like I'm a little bit fuzzier just on the sides. I'm going to have like impressive sideburns and nothing here. Um, but that's pretty much it so far. I'm not expecting a whole lot right away. I know 3 to 5 months is when I've heard you get the most significant changes. Um, I do go to the gym. I'm giving my T injections myself. Uh, when I went to the endocrinologist, they gave me the offer that I could come to the office and have them do the shot and everything. But I work at a veterinarian hospital, and my girlfriend is a medical coder, so we have a lot of medical background, and she's diabetic. So I figured she's got to stick herself with a needle every friggin' day. So obviously I can handle doing it once a month. I mean, once a week. And it really hasn't been hard. The very first shot I gave myself was utterly painless, and I was just floored. I thought, oh, it'll be like a flu shot, which when I get a flu shot, man, my arm is sore for days afterwards. I was like, yeah, I can handle it. First tee shot, no pain, nothing. Second and third and fourth, it hurt a little. It's hard getting past that first and breaking the skin layers, and then you get down, and then it's okay. When they taught me how to give the injections, they said as you walk around, because it's in your thigh, as you walk around and your muscles work, that'll help distribute it through your body. Well, my girlfriend and I have been going to the gym since February of last year. So basically what we decided to do after that first shot is I give myself the shot, we go to the gym right away. First thing, get on the treadmill. And sometimes it's a teeny bit sore right away. I've had a few times that it felt, a little bit funny in my leg. But that's just for a few minutes. And walking on the treadmill and everything. Sometimes after the next few days, I can find the site if I feel around for it. I can find that there is a bruise in the muscle level. It's not anywhere visible. I've never had any visible bruising yet, but I can find the spot. So there's some bruising there, but it's only if I go, feeling my leg and looking for it. Apart from that, fine, really no soreness. And I don't know if that would be different if I didn't go to the gym afterwards. I'm sure sooner or later that'll come up, so I'll find out. But so far I've been going to the gym every time right after I give the shot. I mean, just within minutes. And the gym's close to the house, so it's a short drive. Been switching every other time which leg I do. And trying to move kind of up and down my leg some. I have noticed it seems to be easier from the midway point down on my thigh rather than higher up. I don't know why that is. I assume that the muscle is going to be a little further from the surface higher up anyways, because you've got more flesh there, because I still have chick legs. And I'm not a tiny person. Pretty average build, but yeah, hoping my build will change. I feel like I'm probably stronger. I also had a thyroid issue, which has now been addressed with medication, so that's helping my energy levels, so that's good too. I have bad allergies. It's year-round. I know I complained about that a few times in previous videos. That has recently been addressed. I've changed medication, helping some. I am noticing, I feel like there's a little bit of hoarseness to my voice all the time that was not there before. So I don't know if that's from changes in allergy medications, changes in seasons because it's fall right now, and maybe that's affecting it, or if it is my voice subtly trying to change because of the tea. Time will tell. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I got to say. I'm rocking the Bob Saganowski from the Drop look today, if he didn't believe in colors. I like black. I don't have to think about it. And I did intend to sing for this video as well. I have trouble with this. There's a lot of stuff I sing along to, but not everything sounds good a cappella. I have a guitar that I barely know how to play. I used to play the piano, but it's been so long I don't really remember. And I don't have a karaoke machine, so... Sorry, the cat is really distracting. So, yeah, this one I really wish that I had an instrumental soundtrack or something to play, because there are a lot of instrumental bits in between the singing where I won't pause like one normally would for the instrumental sections. And the opening is just beautiful with the piano. But this is a Billy Joel song. It's not one you really hear on the radio around a lot, but it's one of my favorites since I stumbled across it. So, I'll give that a try. Oh, don't mind all the weird shit behind me. That's my collection of Halloween masks that I've made over the years. Our roommates moved out recently, so we're like taking over the rooms that they abandoned, and And this one's going to be my kind of craft whatever room. So I'm putting all my costume shit in here, but it's a work in progress. I don't have any furniture yet. It's just kind of empty, but I liked the acoustics in here. So see, now my voice is more hoarse than it was before, just from talking. Sorry about that. Hopefully I can stitch these two videos together later. First my phone rang and then the cat was being a brat, so I had to kick her out of the room so she didn't keep interrupting me. So, we'll give this another go. Coffee, yeah, it's great for a singing voice. They say that these are not the best of times, they're the only times I've ever known. And I believe there is a time for meditation in cathedrals of our own. For I have seen that sad surrender in my lover's eyes. I can only stand apart and sympathize, for we are always what our situations hand us. It's either sadness or euphoria. So we'll argue and we'll compromise and realize that nothing's ever changed. For all our mutual experience, our separate conclusions are the same. Now we are forced to recognize our inhumanity. Our reason coexists with our insanity. And though we choose between reality and madness, it's either sadness or euphoria. How thoughtlessly we dissipate our energies. Perhaps we don't fulfill each other's fantasies. And as we stand upon the ledges of our lives, with our respective similarities, it's either sadness or euphoria. Not too bad, I guess. That's Summer Highland Falls by Billy Joel. I've liked Billy Joel a long time. A lot of his stuff falls right in my vocal range. Not 100% sure what vocal range he is, but it works. I've heard him complain about some of his singing later, some of his earlier stuff, that he wishes he hadn't written it so high. So do I. As he's having trouble hitting it, so am I. I don't know if that's an age thing or just where my vocal range is. But, yeah. So, I really like that one. I wish I could play piano again so that I could do the instrumental part of that. And that worked a little bit of my upper range. I really have found that working my chest voices into the upper range has been harder than working my chest voice downwards. But it's something that I've worked on for probably the past 10 years or so, in both directions. So I will come up with another song to record next time. I think I might try and do these weekly since I have Mondays off for now. I hope these videos are useful to somebody. I don't know if I have an audience out there or not, but if I do, have a good one, and I'll be back in a week.